Remind everybody again why we are here tonight. Again, we do this every Monday night. That's a given, but we're here as far as topics are concerned because your man, shout out to DJ Clark Kent, God's favorite DJ. Your man Clark Kent actually, like I said, did an interview recently on the Notorious Big YouTube channel where he talks about breaking down, you know, the classic Life After Death album, and he just basically comes up with a conversation where Snoop's album Doggy Style comes up, and so does the Chronic, and he basically makes the statement that he feels the Chronic is not a classic, but that in fact Doggy Style is the West Coast classic if he had to choose. He said he couldn't get past RBX, respectfully. He said RBX, nothing that he wants. And keep in mind, RBX is on both albums. Let's keep in mind, Snoop is on both albums. Let's keep in mind, Dre is featured on both albums. Again, it's a family situation, but both of these projects have their own places in time as far as what they did and what they represent. Listen, let's talk about it. We're starting out round number one. Dr. Dre's The Chronic versus Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style. Let's get into it. Let's talk about round number one. You knew when we had to talk about both of these albums, there was no way we can get around some of the huge records that were obviously singles, right? Let's get the big singles out the way. Let's talk the biggest records off of each album. I don't want to hear no lip. That's not the biggest record. This the biggest. According to numbers, according to stream plays on Spotify. I'm not going in order of singles. I'm going with the biggest singles versus biggest singles. Feel me in the chat room if you know what's going on.
A lot of those people are dumb.
That's what I'm saying. But we're gonna get DJ Hobo. If we can get the voting machines up in the chat room real quick, like I said, we're going to be talking about nothing but a G-Thang versus that gin and juice. Let's go ahead and start with that nothing but a G-Thang, that classic.
No!
What up?
One, two, three into the four. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door, ready to make an entrance, so back on up.
Cause you know we're about to rip shit up.
Give me the microphone first so I can bust like a bubble. Compton and Long Beach together, now you know you in trouble. Ain't nothing but a G-Thang, baby. Too loped out niggas, so we're crazy. Death Row is the label that pays me. Unfadable, so please don't try to fake this. But back to the lecture at hand. Perfection is perfected, so I'ma let them understand. From a young G's perspective. And before me dig on a bitch, I have to find a contraceptive. You never know, she could be earning her man and learning her man, and at the same time burning her man. Now you know I ain't with that shit, Lieutenant. Ain't no pussy good enough to get burned while I'm offended. Yeah. And that's realer than real deal, Holyfield. And now you hookers and hoes know how I feel. Well, if it's good enough to get broke off a proper chunk, I take a small piece of some of that funky stuff. It's like this and like that and like this, and it's like that and like this and like that, and it's like this and like that and like this, and Drake creep to the mic like a fan.
Well, I'm peeping and I'm creeping and I'm
creeping.
It's no secret we're obviously going to hear a lot of Snoop throughout the evening. It's easy for me, I think, to say as someone who's not participating in tonight's game, that Snoop's introduction to the game came through the Chronic, obviously, but that's his baby as well. Let's be clear. It's a Dre album, like we talked about, like the good Reverend Doctor mentioned, but it's the same combination of Raekwon featuring Ghost all over the album. It's featuring Snoop all over the album and a bunch of others, but like Snoop gets busy on this album. With that being said, let's go ahead and talk about Snoop's debut project, which came out a full year later, 1993. And we're not gonna obviously go with the first single, because while that was a monster in itself, we gotta talk about the song that made the most noise off this album. Let's talk about that classic, Gin and Juice.
With so much drama in the LBC, it's kinda hard being Snoop D-O double G, but I somehow, some way keep coming up with funky ass shit like every single day. May I kick a little something for the G's and make a few ends as I breeze through 2 in the morning and the party still jumping cause my mama ain't home. I got bitches in the living room getting it on and they ain't leaving till 6 in the morning. So what you wanna do? Shit, I got a pocket full of rubbers and my homeboys do too. So turn off the lights and close the door. But what? We don't love them hoes. Yeah. So we gon' smoke an ounce to this. G's up, hoes down. Why you motherfuckers bounce to this?
Rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice.
Laid back.
With my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
Rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice.
Laid back.
With my mind on my money and my money on
Now
my
back.
mind.
I got me some
Seagram's gin. Everybody got the.
I like that he had a checkout time. He's like, yo, y'all gotta be out.
Yeah, I gotta get out. I'm not saying you gotta go home, but you gotta get out of here. Listen, I see someone in the chat room say that real quick. I think it was Third Eye Assassin, or Mr. September. I'm not sure. It's basically Dre against himself. Again, respectfully.
That was B Sharp. The B Sharp said.
B Sharp, my bad. B Sharp. It kind of is, but we're here for one single reason. Like I said, we decided to take on the DJ Clark Kent, God's favorite DJ challenge, which is basically saying the Chronic is not a classic, but Doggy Style is. We're here to dissect. We're here to see what's going on. Just based on the votes of everybody joining the game tonight, Snoop Doggy Dogg's classic Doggy Style has more people representing that album. As a matter of fact, 4 right out of the 6 tonight are representing that album, while 2 are holding down the Chronic. Let's talk about the first 2 big, huge monster records off each record. Let's talk about Nothing But a G Thing featuring Snoop versus Gin and Juice with Snoop on the vocals and DR.DRE on the beats. Let's talk about it. Who do you got? Who's going
Nothing
first?
but a G thing, man. Come on, man. This is
You're going to go. Why? Why is that?
yo. If Clark Kent says the Chronic isn't a classic, then Ready to Die isn't a classic in his mind.
Oh,
Wow.
Strong words. Strong
Wow.
words. You know what
Oh.
though? I agree. I agree.
If he says that, then that album's not a classic either, because
Facts.
it's impossible, yo. I never cut school to buy an album except for the Chronic. So
Wow.
it
Wow.
just it's I don't know. It's kind of blasphemous for him to say that it's not a classic album.
We all have feelings on what he
Love-
said.
do you-
That's why we're here.
Well, do you love every track on that Chronic album? Absolutely, every single one gets included.
I do.
Almost, yeah. pretty
do.
much.
Well,
Yeah, but I
maybe
think
we have to
okay.
define also too what first of all set the framework. What constitutes a classic album? What is the criteria?
So Clark Kent said no skips. I don't
No
necessarily.
skips?
Yeah, I don't believe. Yeah, I don't believe
Yeah,
that.
I don't.
Let's time out for a second. Let's make sure that we got control of the room real quick. It is exactly what Hobo said that Clark Kent said. With that being said, we're gonna dissect, like I said. But let's talk about these 2 songs at first, because like I said, we can easily get into like, but and we are. But let's stick to the script. Like I said, let's talk about Nothing But a G Thing versus Gin and Juice. We got the Rev stepping up, talking about Nothing But a G Thing. Why is the Rev exactly that record versus, again, same artist to a certain degree, same beats too. Why is it this one though?
No, I mean they're both huge records, but Nothing But a G Thing is the blueprint for Gin and Juice. So I gotta go with the former.
Fair enough. Going with the teacher. Anybody else thinking the same? I want to step up for Snoop at this point.
Yeah,
I got Snoop.
Yeah, I got Snoop.
Speak on
I
the
got
trip.
Triple C,
Why
I got
is that?
Triple C.
The Gin and Juice put the light on Gin and Juice itself, and Snoop. Snoop shined. He shined on that one, even though he came out before that. But the spotlight was on him on that Gin and Juice song.
Marketing?
Well, that was the whole
his
entire
song.
that was the whole entire thing about his verse on G Thing, with on off of that album was Snoop got that shine. That was the first time everybody got a young Snoop. He didn't want to look into the camera during the video. You know what I mean? So the Gin and Juice is him standing on his own. You know what I mean? Like that light is him standing on his own, not everybody getting the idea of. So the question that Scan was going to say before is like what constitute as the formula or foundation to classic is kind of important, but the good Rev has a good point with saying that that's the blueprint.
I'll say this for this question, right? I think based off of the conversation, I think G Thing is the 1.0 and Gin and Juice is the 2.0. So that's the first thing I firstly would say. And then for me, Gin and Juice, again, when we break it down, we here on the show, we have our producer lens, we have our DJ bag lens, we have our music business lens. So for me, when it comes to Gin and Juice, right? Hearing the George McRae flip, that's number one. So you hearing how the samples is mixed and everything like that. But then two, to me, Gin and Juice it's such a party vibe that G Thing is a great record and you can play it at the party, but Gin and Juice again, for me, is that record that I was playing at between 12 and 1. You know what I mean? You're playing that at the height of the party. Say it again?
Prime time.
Yeah, you were playing this record at a certain time, and everybody, the dudes and the ladies were on the floor getting it in with this record. You know what I mean? So for me, this record has a bigger appeal for me, and with this particular record. So
I don't know.
That's my reason for. So you don't know, you don't agree?
No. I agree with everything you're saying, but I think that the Nothing But a G Thing record let people into like the fun side of Cali a little bit. For those of us who have never been there before at that point, like it was because before that it was NWA, which is all violence, killing people. Fuck the police,
most wanted,
etc.
Right,
Compton's most wanted.
Fights one.
Right.
The drama,
right.
But this one was the cookout and the volleyball and
right.
It was a vibe. It was a party record, but a Cali party record. So,
absolutely.
I think both songs gave you a day and night.
That's the thing. That's the thing. They're both fun records, but two different vibes at the same time.
Yeah. I think so.
Entirely two different vibes. And like which record did you not need to see the video for to understand that vibe? You know what I mean? Like, even though both videos are classic, both records are classic, everything's classic, but if you don't see a video for Gin and Juice, you already know what it is. You feel that vibe. The G Thing is a different kind of funk, like you were saying, Scan. Like, that's just a different. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just.
You stepped up twice on this particular topic, but I don't think, maybe I'm incorrect. Did I get a firm answer from you on which record you're choosing? Because it sounds to me like you're kind of going with Dre, but you're a strong doggy style representative. So I'm just trying to figure out which one you're actually picking here.
I was actually just waiting to see which way the room was going, because you like to
I had a feeling. I'm not wrong. He didn't choose. Who this man? Who this man?
You almost got away with me, bro.
I almost got away with it.
You can give me one of my answers.
Almost.
It's okay.
I'm gonna have to go with Gin and Juice, because I stand by that album that is classic all the way around. But I think there's no way that you can slight G Thing in any kind of which way, just even from a production level. I think G Thing, I think just the start and the introduction to G Thing is that vibe. When I first went to LA, I'm thinking G Thing, you know what I mean? And Gin and Juice in my head and shit. When I'm thinking I'm gonna live a Cali life.
I'm gonna go with G Thing, because B Sharp brought up a good point. He said G Thing is the Dr. Dre to Gin and Juice's Michael Jordan. Now, we all agree Michael Jordan's a better player than Dr. J, but Dr. J let us believe and see what was possible. So I'm gonna go with Gin and Juice, because when I think of Cali, I'm gonna go with G Thing, because when I think of Cali,
wait. Which one are you going with?
Dr. Dre.
See, you talking about me.
My bad. Dr. Dre. I'm going Dr. Dre, G Thing, but I feel like, and the reason for that is because when I think of California and the vibe of California, I think G Thing.
It's a lot of tap dancing going on, man.
There was a lot.
Let me get to my point.
You seemed a little nervous. You were kind of like, oh, well,
Cats not creasing their chucks.
Right. I had to iron my dickies real quick. Pause.
Savion Hobo over here. I was like, what the fuck you got 3 votes in on one side, 2 votes on the other. At this point right now, I'm looking at one last person. We got to figure out my man Cool Breeze, as usual. Last but not least.
Breeze voted already.
No, I didn't, sir.
So wait, hold on. You talk about knee tap dance, you talk about slight edge and
Hold on a second.
First of all, your man's always last. I gotta give it a
You the one that was
always
kind of
last.
nervous. Hobo leaned in a little bit. Well, the RZA, like what?
Okay. All right.
The RZA. It's like, what are you talking about, Hobo?
Yo,
All
shout
right,
out DJ Phantom in the building. I see DJ Phantom in the chat room. Everybody's sensitive about this. Like I said, I don't know what the voting booth said in the chat room yet, but like I said, Cool Breeze letting it be known right now, he's the last one to vote. We're talking nothing but a G thing versus Gin and Juice. Who do you got, bro?
All right. Before I give the answer, I'm just gonna say this right quick. So, as I listen to both these albums again, I picked out on each album at least 8 classic songs on each album. So every album on here is, for me, even the Snoop Dogg album, I kind of skipped one track on there, but I counted 8 on each. I can read them to you now, I can read them to you later, but for this one, I'm gonna say very slight edge. Yes, Hobo, I said it. I'm gonna go with Gin and Juice on this one. So it's a different vibe. And the Gin and Juice is more of an up-tempo party vibe. And and that hook is a classic hook, And
it is. Like, the video is dope, the song is dope. Again, MTV embraced the hell out of that song, even all the way to
Did you have the tape or the CD though? Because the tape had an extra song.
It did. What was this? That song got pulled too. It was the
Pump Pump.
Pump Pump. Is that the one?
Yeah. But I mean, that was on the CD too, because I had the CD.
Oh, okay. I got that. I know.
Depends on which. There's so many reissues out there. But listen, wrapping up round number 1, we're talking the classics. We're taking on the Clark Kent challenge. Which is the actual classic is the question for the night. We're talking Dr. Dre's The Chronic versus Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style. Round number 1 was the biggest records from both albums. We decided to get those out the way. Let's talk about nothing but a G thing versus Gin and Juice. And while it wasn't completely one-sided, the majority of the room went with Snoop Dogg's Gin and Juice, putting Snoop on the board right now, putting him officially up at 1-0. Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style is in the game again.